Eala, it's been quite a thrill ride for her this last year as well. I feel like last year at this event, it was a little bit of a coming out party where she had some great results coming from a wild card position as well. So I think the international interest in both of them is so high, and Miami being such a sort of a cultural melting pot with so many of the international, so much of the international
court, which is just iconic place to play, and she's a great kid, and I just hope that things will go well for her. They got to get calmed down. They had over 400 calls for sponsorships for her, so there's going to have to be a lot.
Her rise has been one of the biggest stories in tennis, and now even the legends are speaking up. Billie Jean King has publicly congratulated Eala for earning a place on center court at the Miami Open, and that message says a lot about where Eala stands right now in the sport. King has followed her progress closely, and her reaction was full of admiration for what the young Filipino star has already achieved. At the same time, her message was not only about praise. She also shared a serious reminder about what comes next when a player starts climbing this fast. For King, this was not just another nice moment or a routine compliment handed to a promising player, saying she made it clear that this is a major step in Eala's journey, one that shows how far she has already come and how much bigger the spotlight is becoming. She praised Eala's level on the court and the results she has been producing, yet she also pointed to the pressure that follows success, especially when a young athlete begins attracting attention from every direction. King's warning was simple, but it carried real weight. Once a player reaches this level, the game changes. The attention is no longer limited to fans, coaches, and tournament watchers. Big companies begin to circle, brand deals start appearing, and choices off the court can become almost as important as the ones made during matches. According to King, hundreds of brands could end up chasing Eala for endorsements, and that kind of interest may look exciting from the outside, but it can quickly become overwhelming if it is not handled carefully. That is why King stressed the need to stay grounded and think clearly before saying yes to every opportunity. Turning down offers will not be easy, especially when they come with money, attention, and the promise of global exposure, but that is part of the test every successful athlete faces. She made it clear that Eala and her parents will need to be very careful in this area, because the decisions made now could shape the direction of her career for years. In professional sports, sponsorships and endorsements can open huge doors, but only when the right choices are made at the right time.
And the parents have to realize it too for themselves. This is new to them.
Okay.
And everybody's got to stay on course. It's not easy, but she's got to say no to certain things and stay humble. They know they're blessed, and just keep one ball at a time.
King also made a point that stood out even more when speaking about Eala as a person. And she said Eala has been blessed with something that only a small number of players truly have. Tennis is full of gifted athletes, and every year new names break through, but Eala's mix of talent, humility, and respect is not something people see every day. That combination, in King's view, is one of the biggest reasons she believes Eala can reach the top. Her message was not only about forehands, rankings, or match wins. King put the focus on character. She explained that a player's behavior away from the court matters just as much as the results posted on it, especially once fame arrives. Staying humble, respectful, and level-headed can protect a player when the pressure gets heavier, the money gets bigger, and the public starts watching every move. Those qualities, King believes, will help Eala handle the demands that come with a fast-rising career. And this was not a casual opinion from someone speaking from a distance. Billie Jean King has been watching Eala for years. She has kept an eye on her career since she was just 14, which gives her comments even more value. King remembered speaking with Eala during the Junior Nationals in San Diego last year in August, when she was 14 and competing in the 18 and under division. Eala did not win that event, and King used that memory to make an important point. Early setbacks do not decide a player's future, and you can never fully predict how far someone will go based on one result. Even back then, King saw something in her. She noticed the presence, the attitude, and the way Eala seemed comfortable in the bigger moments. That is why she said Eala loves the showcase court, especially center court, because that kind of stage suits players who are not afraid of attention. The world may be reacting strongly to Eala now, but King's words make it clear that she saw the signs long before many other people did. Still, Billie Jean King is far from the only one who believes Eala is headed somewhere special. What Eala has done on the court has already placed her in a historic category, and the tennis world has had no choice but to pay attention. In 2022, she made history by becoming the first Filipino to win a junior Grand Slam title when she defeated Lucy Havlicova in the final. That result alone was huge, but what made it even more impressive was the way she did it. Throughout that entire tournament, Eala did not lose a single set. That level of control under pressure made the title run stand out even more, and it placed her in a rare position in junior tennis history. Winning a Grand Slam as a junior is already difficult enough. Doing it without dropping a set sends a much louder message. It showed discipline, confidence, and a complete game that could hold up across an entire event. That victory did not just give her a trophy, it pushed her name into serious conversations about the future of the sport. Since that 2022 breakthrough, her rise has been rapid and hard to ignore. Eala kept building momentum, and one of the biggest moments of her career came with her unforgettable run at the Miami Open. Entering the tournament as a wild card, she went out and and beat major names, including Madison Keys, Jelena Ostapenko, and world number 2, Iga Swiatek. Those were not lucky wins or soft draws. Those were major victories against players with experience, power, and proven records on the biggest stages. That Miami run changed the way people looked at her. It was not just that she won those matches. It was the scale of what she achieved in the process. Eala became the first player in 40 years to reach the semifinals of a tournament as a wildcard entry, a stat that instantly made people stop and take her even more seriously. Once that happened, her name was no longer floating around as a promising young prospect. She was now firmly on the map, and the conversation around her shifted from potential to real impact. What followed made that even clearer. Eala has continued proving that Miami was not some one-time burst of magic. She kept collecting major wins and showed that she could compete with top-level opponents again and again. Since then, she has beaten several Grand Slam winners and top 10 players, including Jessica Pegula, Coco Gauff, Iga Swiatek, and Madison Keys. At that point, the idea that she was simply having a good stretch no longer made sense. The results were too strong, too repeated, and too convincing. That is why King's words now feel even more meaningful. The warning about staying grounded was not random. Eala is entering the phase of her career where everything speeds up, the attention gets louder, the expectations grow, and the business side starts moving fast. Reports have been circulating that major brands have taken a strong interest in her, and Nike is said to be one of the companies watching her most closely. The belief is that Eala could become a huge figure for the future of tennis, especially across the Asian market. The excitement around her is not just happening inside boardrooms either. Crowds have reportedly been pouring in to watch her matches, and that level of real-world buzz matters. It tells brands that she is not only winning, but that people are emotionally invested in her. That is the kind of connection companies want, especially when they are looking for a player who can represent them far beyond one tournament or one country. According to the reports, Nike does not want to repeat what happened with Coco Gauff. They were late in that situation, and New Balance moved in, with Gauff quickly becoming one of the most marketable names in tennis. That outcome appears to have left a lasting impression, and now Nike seems determined not to make the same mistake with Alex Eala. With other major companies like New Balance and Adidas also in the picture, the race to secure her could become very competitive. From Nike's point of view, the logic is easy to understand. Eala has talent, she has momentum, she has a clean image, and she represents a market with enormous long-term potential. Brands are not only seeing a player who can win matches, they are seeing someone who could become a global ambassador, a face that stands for discipline, work ethic, and perseverance. Those values matter in sports marketing, and Eala's story fits that image in a very strong way. Her rise has reached far beyond tennis fans. It is pulling in the larger sports world too, because her story feels bigger than rankings alone. There is the talent, of course, and the results speak loudly by themselves, but there is also the sense that she represents something meaningful for young athletes, especially in the Philippines and across Asia. That kind of reach gives her profile an extra layer, and that is exactly why so many people believe her future could stretch well beyond what happens inside the lines of a tennis court. And the support behind her keeps growing. Novak Djokovic, one of the greatest players the sport has ever seen, has openly praised Alex Eala and the direction she is headed. He has spoken positively about her ability and made it known that he supports her, while also saying they have a good relationship on and off the court. In tennis, praise from someone like Djokovic carries real force. Respect from a figure at that level is never handed out lightly. That matters because Djokovic has seen everything in this sport. He has competed across generations, faced countless styles, watched stars rise and fade, and measured what real staying power looks like. For him to speak highly of Eala suggests that he sees more than hype. He sees qualities that can last. That says a lot about both her game and the way she carries herself. Jessica Pegula has also shown her support. After Eala's loss in the round of 16 at Indian Wells, Pegula made it clear that one defeat should not be used to judge everything about a player who has already shown so much. Her point was simple and fair. A single bad result does not erase what Eala has already proven, and it certainly does not cancel out the level she has reached against top players. That kind of support is important because it shows how Eala is being viewed inside the tour, not just by fans online or by commentators looking for a fresh storyline. Players know how hard it is to break through. They know how much work sits behind those results, and they know that one rough match can happen to anyone. Pegula's comments were a reminder that Eala's story is still in its early chapters, and there is a lot more left to come. When you put all of this together, the picture becomes very clear. Billie Jean King sees the talent and the character. Novak Djokovic respects her ability and backs her future. Jessica Pegula believes one loss changes nothing about what she has already shown. That is powerful support, and it is coming from people who know exactly what greatness in tennis looks like. How Alex Eala is not just being praised because she is young or because her story is easy to celebrate. She is being backed because the results are real, the attitude is right, and the signs of something much bigger are already there. Her rise has energy behind it, and the belief surrounding her is getting stronger every time she steps onto a court and proves she belongs. As Billie Jean King made clear, the ceiling for Alex Eala looks extremely high. She has the gift, she has the hunger, and she has the support of some of the biggest names in the sport. What remains is the next part of the journey, where she keeps doing what brought her this far in the first place, playing fearless tennis, staying grounded, and continuing to build a career that already feels special. The world world is watching closely now, and the next chapter of Eala's career could be even bigger than the last one. That is what makes this moment so exciting. She has already given the tennis world history, major wins, and proof that she can handle the spotlight. And now, the question is how far this run can really go. Share your thoughts below and say where you think Eala's career is headed next. Do you believe she can become one of the biggest stars in tennis? Do you think Nike, New Balance, or Adidas will land her as their next ambassador? And how much do endorsements shape a player's future? Let us know, because her story is only getting started.